Alright, so you guys are all now down here. Now, as you can see, there is a rather precarious drop-off. And these stairs that lead down into the darkness beyond. It's a very narrow path, so you're going to have to walk single file. As it is, you are all kind of crowded in together on this ledge that you're standing on. And you cannot, it's gotten dark enough out now that you cannot see what lies below in the depths.
Can I see any further than them since I have dark vision?
Yes, you can see that the stairs lead down, and they do this winding back and forth thing. So you can see another 10-20 feet down further than they can. You still, however, cannot see... I don't understand. Was that you asking permission to go to the bathroom, or was that statement of what your character is going to do?
That was him yelling at the kid. I was asking if I see any movement.
Okay.
In the darkness. Shut up.
No, you do not see any darkness. I'm looking for a tool that used to exist in Roll20 that does not appear to exist anymore. So I'm going to have to do it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you see where the number 2 is? How the chasm gets deeper, like beyond. You cannot see anything down in that area. You do not see any further movement down the path. It's eerily quiet here now that you guys are done yelling at each other and at the rats. It's disturbingly silent. You are acutely aware of the sounds that your feet make crunching in the sand as you move. It seems like that sound could be heard miles away. That's how quiet the surroundings are.
And the walls that like we just climbed down, are they smooth or do they have holes of where we have to worry about something jumping out from?
You don't see any holes large enough to contain any surprises. They're not smooth, they're ragged earth. And from Lilth's torchlight you see that where you climb down there are handholds and footholds that have been carved into the wall that have been used to climb up and down. They're spaced weirdly, like they don't look like they were used. They're awkward to use when you're human sized. Like it looks like Paige could get up and down easily. It looks like they were made by someone more her height than yours. But
do you see any signs of the people that we're looking for?
You may make a investigation check if you would like.
Yes, I would like that.
All right. Okay. I'm assuming I just came back. I'm assuming 6 was your roll there. So I'm going to put in these X's. That's plus your bonus. You do not see anything indicating... Oh, 11, okay. Yeah, you don't... I need to keep putting these X's in or I'm going to get confused.
It took me a minute. I was trying to ask him what I was supposed to do.
Okay, that's fine.
I was hoping a D4 wasn't the roll for that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
That would be interesting.
It's better than the D1000.
Am I still up by the rat?
You are all still currently standing on the ledge, yes. Your roll...
Can I investigate the rat?
It's a rat. It's a flat rat. One of them's flat, one of them has a bowl for a head, and the other one looks like a piece of jerky.
So, can I throw 1 or 2 off the edge?
Sure. They disappear into the darkness below.
Why don't we eat them?
Unfortunately, you kick around and you're trying to investigate the area, and beyond your own footprint marks scuffling the area, you really don't see anything that catches your attention. Not along the lines of what you're looking for.
And that was for Narama, right?
Yes. If anyone else would like to search around, you may do so. Please also investigation checks. It's not a very wide ledge, so
I'll do it.
okay.
I'll be an investigation. Are you pushing it?
I think we're pushing it.
Just a regular D20 this time, Paige.
This one's for Paige.
Okay. Nope. Nope, nothing out of the ordinary.
Wow.
That one is for... That one's for Eris.
Alright, Eris and Billy. The others are blind. You don't know how they missed it. You guys find footprints that were not made by your group. You see that they head down the stairs. And there are also extraordinarily large rat prints, which you assume belong to these critters that you just killed. And Eris, you find slightly buried under the sand. You just catch a vague glint of light from Luth's torch. And you bend down to investigate. You find an old ring. It's an old ring of stones. Once you brush the sand away from it, you see that it's an old campfire. You know how they stack stones in a ring for campfires? And within this ring of stones is the accumulated ash of what you have to assume is hundreds of fires. Though there has clearly been no fire here for years. Within the ashes, you kind of poke around inside. You find that there are several roughly hewn spear tips, which look vaguely goblinish. You know, it's like something a goblin would use. There's also small animal bones and things like that in this fire. So at some point, it looks like at least goblins have used this little ledge as a campsite. And you do see the footprints that Norama was looking for. You don't know if it's the adventuring party you're looking for, but they're clearly humanoid footprints that are not belonging to your party, and they look like they lead further. They go down these stairs ahead of you.
So I let everyone else know what I found.
Alright. Hey, look, dummies! Is this what you're looking for?
How's wonderful.
Rogues are cool.
Well, if goblins are using this to camp and they're going up and down the stairs, I say we go down the stairs and not hang out here where we're just going to be sitting ducks for rats and goblins.
I would agree with that.
You didn't sing it, it doesn't count.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Of course you would.
Alright, so I'm hearing the party wants to go down the stairs, yes?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I asked for it. Alright, really quick, I need to pop over to this map so that I can copy. No, I said copy, not turn on fog of war, dum-dum. Copy the minis. Copy. And then we're going to go back to the map you guys are on. And then up at the top of the screen, I'm going to paste the minis. And I need to know your marching order. It's only wide enough for you to move single file. So who's taking the lead going down the stairs? Actually, to keep it from getting confusing and blocking the map, I'm going to put you here. Since you're in the lead, you're going to be furthest to the left. Who is behind Luth?
Since I have dark vision, shouldn't I be going descending first?
Normally, yes, but Luth does have a torch, so...
Yes, I forgot. He didn't impale the rat.
The only problem is, some people would argue that if you're using your dark vision, like night vision goggles, for example, if there's somebody in front of you with a torch, that's going to screw with your vision. But I'm a nice GM, and I'm going to say that that's not the case. So...
Couldn't I be in the rear and kind of glancing behind us to make sure there's nothing behind us then?
You can be. Now, I can't see who's talking, and I have not gotten to know you well enough to recognize voices yet, but I'm going to assume that was Narama, right?
Affirmative.
Alright, so we're going to put you over here. So who's behind Luth? Paige, Harris, Billy?
Paige.
Paige. Okay, who's after Paige?
Me, Harris.
Harris. And then Billy.
Billy, my buddy.
And then you're way back there, Norama, because Billy has a ridiculously long name. Okay.
Have a ridiculous what?
You have a ridiculously long name.
It's not ridiculously long.
Okay.
It's Billy Venue.
Yes, but...
My name's actually longer than his. Mine's Narama Random.
Yeah, except I don't have the random in there, thankfully.
See, I just believe in you.
I wouldn't be able to fit you on the map. Alright. So, Luth, you begin making your way down the stairs. It's easy going, it's very narrow, but you immediately realize that the steps that are carved into this path were not carved for the human stride. They're very shallow and they're very close together. Wait a minute, you would know what I'm talking about. Remember, what was it, the Maria Dorian Park in Milton Freewater?
Yeah.
You remember those tribute steps that go up the hill?
Vaguely.
They're really awkward and they hurt to walk up because they weren't apparently designed for human beings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get that impression on these. I mean, they do the job. You are making your way safely down the path, but you can tell by how you have to watch how you're stepping that these were designed for a much smaller traveler. Again, suggesting goblins or the like. So you're forced to move slower than you would like, just because if you don't watch your footing, you could end up plummeting God knows how far down into the depths. So,
Oh boy.
as you travel down, you see more. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to do. Where is my review? Okay. Roll 20 is annoying. Alright, as you travel down, you see more and more below you. At the edge of the sight, a fortress top emerges from the darkness. The subterranean citadel, though impressive, seems long forgotten. If the lightless windows, cracked crenellations, and leaning towers are any indication. All is quiet, though a cold breeze blows up from below, bringing with it the scent of dust and a faint trace of rot. So you make your way down to this area here, and that's, you can kind of begin to see the sunken fortress below you making itself seen.
Got the power of rock and roll.
Power of Grayskull. That's all I do because I don't have a sword. Upstairs.
Okay. I'm just refreshing myself on my notes here. Okay. So do you continue making your way down? The trail continues switching back and forth below you.
Okay, I keep walking down if there's nothing to attack or see.
Okay.
Since I'm moving so carefully, am I observing anything?
You are confident that if there was anything hiding in the darkness or moving around, you would be aware of it. You do not see anything.
Just to clarify, up top when you said there was a fire pit ring thing,
Mm-hmm.
was that the ring that you were talking about, or was there like a little person?
No, it was just a ring of stones that was used for a campfire. Okay, so as you make your way down, you begin to see the actual fortress. And then we are going to change maps. So let me copy this. And then we're going to move on to this map. And I need to do some stuff, because you guys are going to be down here. I need to reveal this section here. First of all, let's get rid of these. And then we're going to paste this here. And then I need to reveal... Yeah, it's a big map. And you guys are actually going to be over on the other side. I will center your view for you here in a second.
There's the map, there's the map, there's the map.
Okay, so I need to... First of all, you're going to be... Well, I think it's control click? No, is it shift click? No, I'm not even using the freaking select. Did that move your map? That was control shift. Okay, so we'll try shift. That should have centered the map. And I will move you guys down. Oh, I gotta go let the cat out of the bathroom here, or bedroom here in a second. So, marching order as such. Alright, can you see your minis?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so you can see you've moved down. I'm actually going to...
So is it getting warm in here? We're going down pretty far.
No, it's actually getting cold. There's a cold breeze kind of emanating from the area, kind of moving upwards. Okay, so these rats are all dead.
So there's an underground breeze. That's peculiar.
Yeah, there seems to be a breeze coming out of the bottom of the ravine where this temple is at, or this ruins. And token layer. Come on, work with... No! Hold on, I'm having technical difficulties. Map and background layer. No, object and token. This needs to go back to the map layer. Thank you. And then, yes, that is what I wanted to do. I want to put a big old X through each of these because they are dead. Cat. Azriel's doing his whole, I gotta sit on you while you're working on the computer thing. Okay, so, number 3. The narrow stairs empty into a small courtyard. Let me go ahead and reveal the rest of the courtyard where you guys are going to be. You can kind of see from the stairwell where you're at. You can see down into the courtyard. So I need to polygon reveal. That'll do good. Okay. So I need to do this like so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And click. All right. So the narrow stairs empty into a small courtyard. Apparently, the top of what was once a crenellated battlement The buried citadel has sunk so far into the earth that the battlement is now level with the surrounding cavern floor. The floor stretches away to the north and the south, and is apparently composed of a layer of treacherous, crumbled masonry, which reaches to an unknown depth. To the west looms the surviving structure of what must be the Sunless Citadel. A tower stands on the west side of the courtyard. So you guys are just at the entrance of this walled-off courtyard. And you can see the ruins beyond. Now, you can't really see them on the map because I don't want to reveal the map just yet, but you can imagine it in your mind. Alright, so Lewis moves into... Or he doesn't. Does he? Does he? Does he?
So if you guys know what the hell he's doing.
No, he doesn't. Alright, so Luth moves into the courtyard. Anybody else?
Wait, hey Billy, do you have healing music?
Actually, I do.
Alright, so you guys kind of hang out on the steps, waiting to see if anything dastardly happens to Loth as he just walks into the courtyard.
Well, I can't exactly bulldoze all over everybody, but I say we get our butts in the courtyard. I'd rather that than hang on these tiny ass stairs.
I would agree.
Okay, so Paige, do you move into the courtyard behind Luth? Okay, so go ahead and move everyone up just behind. Okay, you can move in like that, that's fine. Okay. Alright, so you all begin moving into the courtyard. Luth is just a little bit further in. And unfortunately, I need to go to GM info layer. Click this and move it to the map layer. Luth is just in the border of a trap. So, I need Luth to make a dexterity savings throw. So, you're going to roll your dex, and then your savings dex savings throw should have a bonus number in that. Add that to the d20. '21. Alright, as you move across the cobbled ground, you feel something shift under your weight, and you manage to back up in reaction to it just fast enough. Why can't... Oh, I need to be on this layer, right? Objects and tokens. So you manage to back up just out of the trap as this entire area within the red box collapses downwards, revealing a 10-foot deep pit. And let's see.
Good thing I tested it for y'all, huh?
You see in the bottom of the pit 2 long dead and skeletal goblins. One of them, let's see, the way this is worded, it contains 2 long dead and skeletal goblins. One goblin dead for about a day, and okay, well, I don't know how you tell it was dead for a day if it's skeletal, but anyway, there's 2 goblin corpses in the bottom of the pit. So it looks like you're not the first person to have accidentally stumbled upon this. So yeah, it's placed right in front of the door. You see that green outline to the west? That, okay, good. I wasn't sure if I did that right. There's actually a door there at the base of that tower. So in order to get to the door, you're going to have to find a way to get around this. It looks like it's a 10-foot by 10-foot pit. It's got a large stone lid that when you step on it swings down. Like a trapdoor. So, what would you guys like to do?
Do we investigate?
Do you want to go into the pit and investigate inside the pit, or are you investigating something else?
Around it, see if there's a way around.
Okay. Go ahead and move your mini where you would like to investigate and make your roll.
Around it.
Oh, around the pit itself?
Around the pit itself.
Yeah, around the pit, yeah.
Okay. We're going to say that takes you a couple minutes. So go ahead and make your roll, and while you're doing that, the rest of you, what would you like to do?
I have a book of lore. Can I look through my book and see if there's anything about this citadel, the sunken city?
You may. Let me look really quick what that would fall under. Unfortunately, that roll indicates that you do not find anything of interest. There is a big hole in the ground in front of you, and there's a couple dead goblins in it. Let's see. Investigate, maybe? No, not you,
Gives me
Cat.
like the holy throw.
Would that be history since I have the book of lore?
Sure, you can use investigate or you can use history, whichever is best for you. And I will give you advantage since you have a book. Now, advantage is the opposite of disadvantage. So you roll the 2d20, and you take the highest of the two rolls before you add your modifiers. Okay, so
So my highest one is 17. 13 plus 4.
okay. So, there's actually a story in your book relating to the Citadel, and as soon as I find it, I will read it to you. But in the meantime, as you're standing there reading, what are the rest of you doing? Eris is kind of searching around the edge of the pit. Narama is looking in, kind of intently at this book she's produced.
I'm gonna search in the pit.
You're going to go ahead and go into the pit. Okay, go ahead and make me a climbing check. And go ahead and move your mini.
Don't forget your the line breaker.
He's doing his check thingy. Hang on.
There is no climbing check.
Dex, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's one of those instances I was talking about.
Is it acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics. Really quick, where is that? Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna look.
Yeah. You didn't have any other bonuses to go along with that? None at all?
Just
Like
the
what?
Acrobat? Confused.
Well, I'm just saying, I hope you have some bonuses you missed somewhere, because otherwise I'm rolling some damage die.
What bonus would I be doing? Because it's just a dex bonus right now.
Okay. Okay. I was giving you a chance to fib to me, but you're cool. So
I need to add a plus 17.
too late now, Dano. All right.
There was a mattress lady down there.
There's a mattress. No, I said no dumpster tricks already. All right. So you're gonna take a whopping 1 point of damage. You got lucky.
Yeah, but he already had a rat knock through his arm too.
Oh, help here!
So you land on your bum with an oof.
Hey, Mark, there, you want to sing me a healing song? Be nice with it.
Okay, where is... I'm having problems finding what I'm looking for. So I'll just give you the cliff notes. The Sunless Citadel, many decades ago, was indeed rumored to be home to an ancient dragon cult who worshipped a dragon called Ashardalon. And you recognize that name as being connected to the Ashen Plane. And apparently this cult had its dark influence spread pretty heavily across the local area. They tormented people. They sacrificed people to the dragon god. And it's not clear on the details of what exactly took place, but it says that the fortress actually sank during the battle when a group of heroes attacked the cult here at the Citadel. They attacked the cult, and the result of this epic battle resulted in the defeat of the dragon and the sinking of the Citadel. Now, this apparently happened after Ashardalon did his whole rampage through the Ashen Plane. So apparently his rampage in that area finally was the straw that broke the camel's back, and heroes united, and there was this massive battle at the fortress, and it sank. And that was apparently the quote-unquote end of the dragon cult and its influence in the area. Nobody's seen the cult or the dragon since, but nobody's seen or heard from those heroes either. So apparently this whole area the whole Citadel was built by the cult for the cult, and yeah, who knows what you're gonna find inside. Very, very vague. It was written as if it was mostly conjecture. You don't know how accurate the historical writing is, but unfortunately that is all that exists in the book on the subject.
I'd like to share that information with everyone and see what anyone else thinks of it.
Okay.
I think it should be given back to the people. Who needs a big castle like this anyway?
It's underground. How can we give it back to the people?
One brick at a time.
How about we take the fortress and push it somewhere else?
I want to see you do that. No, really. I want to see it. Heave!
I think
Oh yeah, I'm so
All right.
If he manages to do that from down there, I think he deserves to move the fortress.
So,
I think we need rest.
you're down in the hole, Luth, and you stand up and brush yourself off and call up for aid, and Billy walks over to the edge and begins playing his what?
My ocarina.
Okay, so he begins playing his ocarina, and you begin to feel...
It's the link I shared in Discord.
Okay, you begin to feel your boo-boos slowly healing when you are surprised by another one of these stupid rats that appears out of nowhere from within the pit next to you, and it lunges at you. So, 1 second. I need to go to GM info layer.
How do I dodge?
You don't dodge because it surprises you. Token layer. And I hate to be that guy, but select move. Objects and tokens. You're in the pit. You're in the pit.
I'm in.
You're in the pit. Okay, so this rat,
He's not wearing a red shirt, is he?
looks kind of orangish to me, but, you know, I can go with that. You red shirt, you. Yeah, every group's got to have one. Alright, so it's going to get a free attack on you with advantage because you were not aware it was there. You were completely distracted. So I'm going to roll 2 20-sided dice. 1, 2. Wow. Okay, well that sucks a lot. Let me pull up my...
It surprised me so much, I reversed it and surprised itself.
Now keep in mind, I can only use one more healing spell until we get a short rest or a long rest in.
Okay, now what that means is a short rest.
Only to quit being stupid.
Yeah, a short rest is where you like sit and you literally just rest for a few minutes. A long rest is where you make camp, throw out your sleeping rolls, and go to bed for the night. And there are different, you recover different aspects depending on which rest you take. And off the top of my head, it's been so long I can't remember which is which. Like, which does what. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
I know most things are long rests.
Okay, it has a
I-
plus...
Something off the top of my head worked as short rest.
Has a +4 to hit. It rolled a whopping with advantage 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That does not hit Luth's armor class. It headbutts you in the rump, and you turn around and look at it, and it's sitting on the ground shaking its head confused like it doesn't understand what just happened. And now everyone gets to roll initiative. So, go ahead and, first of all, Billy got a 4. Okay, Luth, roll for you, please. Please roll for Paige.
Page.
11. Please roll for Narama. 19. Please roll for Eris. 13. And my rat, my one little rat, is going to roll a D. Now, how did I do this last time? Oh, I just double click it. Okay, that's good to know. So, it's going to be a D20 plus his dex bonus of 2. 1d20 plus 2. I go with 15. So, we're going to start with Narama. Then we're going to go to the rat. And we're going to go to Eris. And then if anything is still alive in the pit, Luth will get to go. Which, if nothing's alive in the pit, that means Luth's dead. After Luth is Paige.
Thanks for the confidence, buddy.
Well, I was just reflecting on how I posed that statement. And Billy goes last. So, Narama, as Paige is looking around the pit, and you're looking in your book, you're looking up so that you can relay this information to everybody, and Billy's over here killing Luth. You look down and you see the rat jump out of some of the rubble in the bottom of the pit and headbutt Luth. Like, Luth hasn't even had the chance to turn around and look to see what just hit him in the butt, and you get to react to it. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna throw my hand axe at the rat, trying to decapitate it.
Okay, that's epic. Go ahead and make your roll. I won't give you disadvantage, even though I should. I want to see you succeed at this.
And she's a warlock, so that's going to be double.
Yeah, you need to be a little closer to the pit, though, so I'm going to go ahead and move you up here. Because each of these squares, according to the map, is 5 feet. And they're 10 feet down, so...
What does she roll?
You roll a d20 plus your strength modifier. And
That's underwhelming.
and I assume you are proficient with the hand axe that you are hurtling towards Luth. So,
The attack bonus has the 3.
okay, so
Weapons,
anything.
simple weapons.
so 7, your total would have been 10. You do not hit Luth, but unfortunately you do not hit the rat either. So your hand axe clatters against the stone rubble in the floor of the pit, as you said, underwhelmingly. The rat, completely oblivious to you trying to decapitate him at a distance, is still completely invested in trying to gnaw on Luth. So he's going to make his attack. So he gets a +4 bonus total. He's
Am I covered in rat dip just out of curiosity?
no, but you are the one in the pit. He rolls a total of 13. That is not enough to get through your armor class. What kind of armor are you wearing out of curiosity? Just like loose clothing and whatnot?
I'm naked.
With an armor class of 17. It's a monk thing. Okay, so yeah, it lunges at you, and you kind of lazily sidestep, and it misses.
Yeah, monks, it's a monk thing. They add their wisdom modifier to their AC along with their dex modifier
Okay.
when they're not wearing armor.
All right. So that's going to take us to Eris.
The surprising thing is that Luke has a wisdom modifier.
You probably hear about now. You hear the commotion going on, and you look down and you see this. You see Luth dancing with this giant, evil, ugly-looking rat.
I'm gonna jump in and attempt to stab it with my 2 short swords.
Okay, I need you to make an acrobatics check, because I'm assuming as you jump in, you're going to try and tumble when you hit the ground. That way you don't take damage. If you succeed at your acrobatics check, I will let you make an attack roll. If you fail, you're going to take damage and be... Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Wait,
Okay, well, the ground is not as stable as your vision led you to believe. And as you land and go to tumble, the rubble shifts under you, and you actually take a sharp, jagged piece of rubble to your shoulder. So you're going to take... Ouch. You take 4 points of damage, and you are so surprised by it that you actually, like, stopped, you know, and you will not continue your turn from there. Normally, you would take a d6 damage every 10 feet you fall, but you tried to tumble, so I kind of reduced it a little bit.
Billy help.
Why do I have... Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, so that will end your turn. You do manage to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. But now we're going to go to Luth.
I'm gonna turn and look to the rat and say, hey!
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
What's my quarterstaff?
And now, do quarterstaffs fall into the whole unarmed strike thing for monks?
It's a monk weapon.
Okay. So you should be able to get your monk bonus.
Yeah, because I have my specialty is sort of, oh, whoops, never mind. Wrong area.
Alright, that is high enough to strike the rat. Go ahead and roll damage.
Also, I just realized mine is the only mini that's not square.
Yeah, I realized that too.
Haha! Squares!
You were thinking outside the box. Good job.
You're not very
I
sharp.
am outside of this little box that...
I want to get inside the box.
That's just to represent you're not very sharp.
Yep, that's true too. Hey, I'd rather not be sharp than be square.
Alright, 9 points of damage. That's pretty spiffy. That's enough to kill the rat. You bring your quarterstaff down on it so hard that it cracks the skull, breaks the spine. The rat quivers there for a minute, drooling on itself before the light of life leaves its eyes. Good job, rat is dead. So, that leaves you and Eris in the pit. Narama, Paige, and Billy standing above looking down inside. What would you guys like to do?
Anyone have a rope or something they can help these idiots up with?
Well, it's only about 10 feet. You could probably climb out fairly easily. Eris,
I have my 10-foot ladder this time.
Eris, you're the rogue. I need you to make a perception check.
I'm the
Paige, sorry. Yeah, I'll let you make a perception check with disadvantage. I don't know why I kept thinking Eris was the rogue. My bad.
Eris is the ranger.
Ranger. Okay, once the commotion, the noise from your comrades moving around in the pit dies down, you hear a very low clicking noise, a metallic clicking noise, and you are quick to determine that the sound is coming from the lid of this pit that has it's fallen in. And you can see, now that your attention is drawn to it, that the lid is slowly, with each click, beginning to rise back upwards as if the trap is resetting itself.
So it's pushing us back up.
No, not yet. It's only moved like a couple centimeters. The only reason she even knows it's happening is because I'm presuming she has some history and some experience with traps and such mechanisms.
So it's gonna push us up.
Maybe. Maybe not. It might trap you inside. You have time. It's moving very, very slowly.
It's like my playlist is listening to me. I mentioned Metallica, and now it's playing Metallica.
Can I holler? Can I holler? To everybody what's happening?
It's make them. Yeah. Paige shouts down to make you aware that, here in maybe 10 minutes, this trap's going to have reset itself, and it looks like the way it's designed, it's going to probably trap Lewis and Eris inside if they are still in the pit when the time comes. But in game terms, 5-10 minutes is a long freaking time, so you're not really overly worried about it right now.
So, like a non-living Venus flytrap.
Okay. Minus the ooey gooey dissolve your flesh gunk.
Yep.
It's apparent that the two skeletons, the goblin skeletons, have been made skeletons probably because the rat had been eating on them.
Is there anything special about skeleton jewelry, guys? Well, not guys, but...
Would you like to search the skeletons?
If I can search it in time to get out of there by the time the floor goes up.
Oh yeah, you have plenty of time. Alright, so you bend down and begin sifting through the remains of the corpses. What would the rest of you like to do?
I will join the searching of the skeletons.
Can one of you guys throw my axe back up here, please?
Alright, go ahead and move your mini into the pit. Those of you who are searching, go ahead and make a perception or investigation, whichever is highest for you.
First one is me.
Lewis, I'm going to give you advantage.
Dad, I'm realizing you completely gave up on the line breaking idea you had earlier.
What do you mean, line breaking?
Like when you made that line to break up the roles so you know what roles.
Yeah. No, I didn't give up. I just forgot.
And then this is for Eris.
Okay. Eris, you really don't find anything of value. As Luth is searching the corpses, you're kind of searching the area around the corpses. You are aware that Luth does find something. You see him pulling stuff out, away from one of the corpses. Luth, you find a total of 23 silver pieces and 4 gold pieces in a small hide belt pouch. So one of the 2 goblins did have a small belt pouch with a little bit of coins in it.
Sweet. Now I'll hop out.
Okay. Actually, Eris, what was Eris's roll? 12?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Eris, you don't find anything of any interest. Nothing worth stabbing yourself on the rubble coming into this pit for, at any rate. So, you can climb out of the pit relatively easily. If you take your time and you're careful about it, I won't even make you roll.
Are you climbing out slowly? Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and move. If you've climbed out of the pit, go ahead and move your mini out of the pit. Has anyone returned Norama her hand axe?
You guys suck! I just asked you nicely. Give me the
You're gonna make her go in and get it herself.
I'll go down here. I'm gonna
And
go
I'll
get...
back in without losing anything.
I'll go get my own damn axe.
Alright, make... Well, you can hop back in, but you're going to take damage from doing so. The only reason I allowed Eris to make a tumble check is because at the time I was thinking Eris was the rogue, and rogues are good at the whole tumbly thing. You can climb back in and not take any damage if you make your climb check again.
Hey, go jump in and give me my axe, please. You've got the whole jumpy, tumbly thing. Can you go get my axe, please? I will. Woohoo!
Alright, so if Paige is going in for the axe, then I need an acrobatics check. Same as I had Eris do earlier by mistake. Oh yeah. You're like, Eris is in the pit, gets the axe.
You mean Paige.
Paige, why do I keep doing that? As long as you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So, as I was intending to say, Paige is in the pit, has the axe, and is back out of the pit, and you don't even see her touch the ground. Like, it almost looks like she just Mario's off the walls.
That's awesome. Thank you for my axe. You're not welcome.
Paige, you also realize now that you know this trap is here, and you suspect that you know how it works. Once it resets, you know that you can wedge your dagger into the crack that appears between the edge of the trapdoor and the actual courtyard. You can wedge your dagger in there, and that should prevent the trap from reactivating, and you guys will actually be able to walk across it to get to the door.
I say do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Alright. Couple minutes pass, you guys sit around just watching as this heavy stone trapdoor lid click, 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 slowly returns to its closed position. Paige swiftly kneels down and nimbly inserts a dagger into the crack and jams it shut. Do you have a dagger on your character sheet, Paige, that you can spare?
Yeah, from the dude's pocket that I stole.
Okay, so go ahead and take that off your character sheet. It will remain here to keep the trapdoor shut. Alright. And now you guys can move to and open the door if you would like.
I say someone other than Luth goes first, because he is a rat magnet.
Okay, let me look at this real quick. Okay.
Billy, why don't you go first? Be like St. Patrick and, like, you know, take the rats out, you know? Be the Pied Piper.
So, I see Paige near the door. Does Paige want to do the rogue thing and make sure it's not trapped?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception or investigate check. Your call.
Are you sure that's still the rogue's job? Last time I tried it, it ended up being the paladin's job.
Yes, but that's just because you were the one rolling. Okay, I am not on that page. I'm currently getting ready to reveal the next room. So what was the roll?
22.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
All right.
2.
This door does not have, nor has it ever had, a trap on it. As a matter of fact, you can tell that this door was created by a dwarven smith, a rock worker, over 300 years ago, and was probably shipped in overseas, because you can see how the salt water from the ocean has had an effect on, I mean, you're seeing details that are worthless. There's no trap on this door, but you're like, if there was a trap on this door, there wouldn't be a trap on this door. That's what I'm trying to say. So, not only is the door not trapped, it's not locked, and you hear nothing moving on the other side in whatever happens to be beyond the door. So do you choose to open it?
Sure.
Okay. The circular area is cobbled with cracked granite, upon which sprawl 4 goblins, all apparently slain in combat. One stands with its back against the western wall, the killing spear still skewering it and holding it upright. 3 wooden doors lead off from this area. Above, a hollow tower of loose masonry reaches 30 feet, but the intervening floors and stairs are gone, except for a couple of crumbled ledges. So, really quick, can you see the outline of the other 2 doors?
Yeah.
Okay. So, there are 4 goblin bodies. I'm gonna go ahead and use, let's use this, and we will make it kind of orangey colored. So there is, let's see, what layer do I want to put it on? Let's put it on objects and tokens. So there's a goblin body pinned against the wall here. There's goblin body here, goblin body
Billy, you
here.
gonna join us?
Billy's making food in the microwave. I'm not sure what it is, but he's made himself some ramen. So, yep, that's what you see. The 2 doors, dead goblins. Alright, go ahead and move your mini to where you'd like to be and make your roll. What would the rest of you like to do?
Can I search the goblin bodies?
You sure can. Go ahead and make your perception or investigate.
All of the goblins are dead, yes?
Yes, they are all very dead. Okay. Luth sees nothing.
Second one is Paige.
Okay. Paige sees less.
Natural one.
Paige, you think you see something and you bend down to the floor and you go to sweep away some of the dust with your hand, and you actually get some of it in your eyes, so you're kind of blinded for a moment, trying to get this old dust and crap out of your eyes.
Darn it. I would like to search the room, but I am searching for the hidden doors or any kind of historical value, something that's going to tell me more about this place, because it just seems to be a growing enigma.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll. That one was for you. All right. I'm going to give it to you because I think you saw it as a player, because I did not disguise it very well. One of the areas on the map that I did not modify pre-game, and I caught it only seconds before we started, so I couldn't change it. You do, in fact, find a secret door exactly where you're standing. There is a very, very... The walls are there's something between cobblestone and brick. They're worked stone that have been cemented together. You know, kind of like in a castle wall. And the way the bricks come together in this area, they just draw your eye for some reason. And upon closer inspection, you realize that there's actually a seam that runs from the floor up about 7 or so feet, and then the seam runs horizontally 3 or 4 feet and then back down to the floor. So it's kind of got this outline of a door. There's no handle, there's no apparent way to open it, but you are fairly confident that there is a secret door here.
Guys, come check out this door. I'm pretty sure it's a door.
Yes.
Look at it. Yeah.
You guys just leave Paige stumbling around blind.
I can't see it.
Okay, whose role was that?
I was wanted to help search for the door.
You have no idea what Narama is talking about. You actually suspect she's pulling your leg, and you're actually a little upset about it because it's not fun to make fun of people who are mentally challenged.
Hey.
Not a door. Alright, Paige, you managed to get the crap out of your eyes. You see everyone's gathered around the southern wall looking at something which, from your current vantage point, you cannot see. And other than Luth's sputtering torchlight, those of you without dark vision, it is very dim. In the light in here is it's very hard to make things out. No, we're not going to use that in this one. So, unless the book says you have dark vision. I mean, yes, it makes sense. The dragon should be able to see in the dark, but you are not full dragons, so you are going to have some limitations of your humanoid genes. So, you can't see what they're looking at, Paige, but you can see that they're all definitely interested. So, if you want to continue searching around the room, you may. But I need a new roll. If you want to go try and see what they're looking at, you can move your mini down there as well. So.
You want to continue to search goblins? Yeah. Is anyone going to help me figure out how to open this damn door?
Alright, Paige, while they're looking at the door, go ahead and make another roll.
Okay, this will be Paige's roll.
Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to put in the X's. it appears you move from goblin corpse to goblin corpse. It appears that all of the bodies have already been looted of valuables, obviously by whatever killed them. But each goblin does possess a short sword. And if you remove the spear pinning the goblin to the wall, you'll have a fairly decent spear as well. These the swords, the long swords are all crude, or excuse me, the short swords. They're all very crude. They're clearly of goblin design. But the spear looks like something you might pick up in the shop in town. So clearly the spear belonged to whoever used it to kill the goblin.
Since Ruth is a rat magnet, can I give it to him?
Sure.
Luke, do you want a spear?
Yeah.
I would like to try and figure out how to open this door.
Okay, one more quick thing. As you pull the spear from the goblin, the body slumps to the floor, and you see, in the corpse's absence, you see revealed, set deep into the wall, is a set of impressive runes, kind of like carved into the wall. What can you speak? Do you know how to speak Draconic? I'm asking Paige, you goober.
Eris speaks Draconic.
Okay, right now I'm just concerned if Paige does, because you guys are all focused on the door. If she brings you guys, it brings your attention to it, you can go over and investigate it, but right now I'm curious if Paige knows.
Eris.
Okay, so you're going to be...
Eris. There's some stuff on the wall. I need you to read it. Get over here.
Alright, Eris, are you going to move over where Paige is at and see what she's yelling about?
Yeah, she's going over to Paige because Paige is yelling at her. There we go.
Okay, so you move over. In the meantime, Luth is being Luth. Norama, you're poking and prodding at the wall, trying to figure out how to get this door open. Make a perception or investigation.
So Norama is making a perception or investigation check?
Yes.
Oh, yikes.
Okay. As far as you can tell, you don't see any mechanisms or there's no obvious way to open the door, but you suspect that if you were to shove it, that would be a logical conclusion. It looks like it maybe could be pushed back, further away from you into the wall, but
I can shove it. I can shove it.
yeah, it looks really heavy.
I can shove it.
Yeah, but if I can get the two big... I think we could get this thing shoved in if I can have Eris and Billy. I have it.
I'm still reading the
Okay, the door is only wide enough for two of you to push on it at the same time. So what I need to know is one of the two will be the one making the roll. The second person who's assisting will not make a roll, but they will, since they're helping, the person who's making the roll will have advantage on their roll. So I need to know who the primary roller is.
Eris, are you going to help me open this? You're going to keep dawdling over there at the wall with Paige.
Well, I'd like to know what it says.
Okay.
Eris wants to know what the thing says before she's going to help me, apparently.
Okay, so let me pop over to that real quick. you see, Eris, you see carved into the wall, the rune is actually, the set of runes are actually, you recognize it as Draconic, and together they form the name Ashardalon. Just simply that one word, and that's it. Ashardalon.
A Shardalon?
Yes, you recognize that as the name of the dragon that was responsible for rampaging through, what was it called? Ashen... No,
Oakhurst?
no. Oakhurst is the town. This is the map I'm looking for. Ashen Plain. The Ashen Plain was created by the dragon Ashardalon when it rampaged through the area. So, and you were told by Narama, according to what her book said, that apparently the dragon cult that called this citadel home worshipped Ashardalon as their god. So his name, her name, whatever gender it happened to have been, the dragon's name is currently engraved deeply in Draconic on the wall.
Cool. Okay, now that you know what we're dealing with, will you help me open the door?
Yes.
So,
Are you with my character?
yeah, I'm gonna move out of the way and let Eris and Billy shut
I'm
this
helping
thing.
you.
Billy, you're gonna help her, right?
Alright, so who's the primary roller?
Oh, that's Eris.
Alright, so Eris, you're going to roll your strength check with advantage. So you're going to roll two 20-sided dice. You're going to take the highest of the two, and then you're going to add your strength bonus to that roll.
Okay, here we go. Nope. And then her advantage is 4.
Okay. You put your shoulder to the door with Billy beside you, and you both shove with all of your might. The door resists, and for a moment you don't think it's going to happen. But then there is a low grumbling sound of stone grinding on stone as this door slowly begins to give way under the force of your pushing. And it slowly begins to pick up speed, and it slowly begins to get easier to push, and pretty soon you've managed to push the door in about 2 feet, and then you hear a click, and you almost stumble as the door begins to move by itself. It retreats further back in and then begins to move slowly to the side, and revealing a small chamber beyond. So let me reveal that for you.
I knew it!
This pocket chamber is damp and cold. The skeletons of 3 long-dead archers slump against the rubble-filled arrow slits along the east and south wall. And that is the description of the room. It is a very small room. It's only about 10 feet by 10 feet.
So about the same size as the trap.
Okay, I need both Billy and Eris to make a savings throw. As the door is moving away from you, you didn't feel it, but you become aware of it after the fact. So I need you both to roll a savings throw so I can see which one this affects. You're going to make a Constitution savings throw.
Hang on, we're in progress.
Okay.
This is for Eris.
Okay. Alright. Let me X this. Billy. You're pushing on the door, and you hear the click, and you manage to gather, catch your footing as the door begins to move by itself, and you feel a twinge in your arm. And it didn't really catch your attention at the moment. You thought maybe it's just from the effort that you were exerting. But as you are now looking into this room, looking at these skeletons, the area where you felt the twinge begins to itch. And it begins to burn. And you kind of look down at your arm and you can see just the smallest hole in one of your scales where the needle trap on the door punctured your scale. And you take a whole whopping 1 point of damage from the needle trap. You suspect that at any... You suspect at one time long ago this needle may have been coated with a rather severe poison. Considering how old and how long it's been sitting here, and it's still making you uncomfortable, you suspect that back when it was applied to the needle, it could have killed you. But
Could it be from those stupid apples?
hard to say. Possibly. A moment or two passes though, and the burning, itching sensation goes away, and you don't feel like you're in any further jeopardy of dying or getting ill. You wait like expectantly to see what happens, and nothing happens. So apparently whatever was on the needle has weakened with time. So apparently that door was trapped.